guys, Logan Bells here, and welcome back to my Predator series. I'm going to be covering every Predator film, yes, including AVP 1 and 2, leading up to The Predator coming out on September 14th. I already reviewed the first Predator film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now we're going to be talking about the sequel to Predator. Predator 2, the one with Danny Glover, not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Amidst a territorial gang war in 1997, a sophisticated alien hunter, Predator, stalks the citizens of Los Angeles, and the only man between him and his prey is veteran LAPD officer Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, played by Danny Glover. Arnold Schwarzenegger was originally going to be in this movie, but because he did not like the director for this film, Stephen Hopkins, and he hated the idea of a Predator movie taking place in a city, not a jungle, he declined on the role and just move on to star in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And that's actually not a very bad idea, because I couldn't imagine myself what that movie would have been like if he wasn't in that film. This is a disappointing sequel that just did not live up to the original film. I just watched this film for the very first time in my life, so after, watching it for the very first time, I was let down by this film. This was a mixed bag for me. There are a few things to this film that I thought were very good, and other things that this film did that I thought were absolutely terrible. And I will get into a few things like that. But Danny Glover, I would say, is pretty good, although he wasn't really as much of a standout in this film to me, or at least the best part of this film for me, as Bill Paxton was in this film. Bill Paxton, to me, stole the entire show in this film. And it's very surprising that this was not the only film that he appeared in a franchise. He also appeared in Aliens, which is another sequel to a very good original film. Other than that, the rest of the characters were just forgettable and very wooden. I didn't care for anybody else in this entire film. The Predator in this film looks good, but not as great as the Predator in the first one. This one seems like it has a much bigger head than the Predator in the first Predator film has. And it looks okay, but I wouldn't say that it was as good as the design in the first Predator was. Some action sequences in this film were pretty good. I kind of liked a few fight scenes with Danny Glover going up against the Predator, although there were a few portions throughout the film that kind of went from being relatively serious to having some sort of funny moment that was supposed to be funny, but it didn't come off as funny to me.
It's alright, I'm a cop.
I don't think he gives a shit.
My overall biggest issue with Predator 2 is that it didn't have the magic and the feel and the claustrophobia and the intense scenes, or the intensity and the suspense and everything else that the first Predator has. The first Predator takes place in a jungle, and it's filled with suspense, intensity, and action sequences, and the Predator and Arnold Schwarzenegger going up against each other in a one action scene or two or so. And that film was just an instant action thriller classic. And there were also a few portions in the film that tries to pay homage to the first film. For example, one part Danny Glover was giving a line,
"You are one ugly mother." Motherfucker.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger did in the first one. While it was a decent homage to the first film, it just comes off as forced and unnecessary. I want to get in the characters more, because this film has some of the worst news reporter characters I have seen in a film, period. Some of the characters in this film that were playing or that were news reporters, wow, completely unprofessional, and I bet you, they're very stupid and very dumb, and I guarantee you that news reporters in real life wouldn't act like that. Even if they're not professional, they wouldn't really act like that in this movie. The news reporters in this film really wouldn't, the news reporters in real life wouldn't act the same way that the news reporter characters would act in this film. That really bothers me. But yeah, that's just one thing about Predator 2 that really bugs the hell out of me. The overall tone went so all over the place. And the fact that this film takes place in a city, not in a jungle. And that idea was very, very dumb. So overall, this film was a mixed bag for me in a very disappointing way. It's nowhere near as great as the first Predator film. It loses all the magic and the feel and the greatness and the claustrophobic themes and so much suspense moments and intense moments that the first Predator has. It doesn't have as much of that as the first Predator does. It's not a terrible film by any means, but it's not a good one as well. I'm going to give Predator 2 a silver medal of honor. So anyway guys, that is my review for Predator 2. My next review in my Predator series of reviews is going to be for Alien vs. Predator, the first AVP film. And it will be up next week from today. Also, my review for Mile 22 will be up tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that one as well. If you guys enjoyed my review, please click the like button, and if you have already watched Predator 2, comment below and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed what you see here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.